Hello everybody, good morning, how you doing? My name is Gerald Cross. Today I'm going to be talking to you about podcasting, also specifically about the podcast equipment. I've been doing a podcast now, my own personal podcast. You see I'm not in a studio. This is my condo, one bedroom, one bedroom, one bath condo. All right, so, and you see I have this little setup here, little stand. It doesn't come up very high. I'm sitting at my little countertop here. I got my laptop. Laptop isn't necessarily needed for recording the podcast, but I have it here because I like to edit the podcast once I'm done with it. I'm going to go over the things and equipment that helped me. After I've been doing a podcast for so long, I found that I started out just recording from my phone, just turning on the voice memo or the Podbeam app and then recording it straight from there, just talking into the phone. But over time, listening to other podcasts, I sometimes hear that, okay, man, they sound like nice clarity. And, they also have multiple people talking sometimes in these podcasts or on these podcasts. And then you can hear each person clearly. You're not hearing like they're sounding like they're in the background or 5 meters away or something like that. You're hearing them each individually, each crisp, clear voices. And so I'm recording this to kind of go over some of the different equipment, okay? All right, so I got this microphone. I got this setup here, right? This thing, you see, it's about the size of my hand. Not very big. It doesn't weigh very much. This thing's probably about a pound or something like that. It's very light, but it allows you to do all your podcast recording all onto this one device. And it's called Zoom, Z-O-O-M. So when I bought it, it came with this device here. It came with the microphone itself. And it did not come with all the accessories, right? You think everything you see, like this cord that's going to the microphone itself that connects from here to here, does not come with it. This is an XLR cable. You see how it connects? It has those 3 little holes for 3 prongs. It connects to the back of this is an XLR microphone. So I had to do a little bit of research, right? Because there's different type of microphones. You can go get a USB connected USB connected microphone where it connects via like either a C USB connection or a regular USB to your laptop. That's fine, it does work. And this XLR, I just found that doing a little research that it just works a little better with holding the quality of the sound of the voice and things like that. So I chose to go with this. And then also this Zoom podcasting kit, it requires XLR type of connection. So I had to go to like either order online from like Amazon, something like that, male, female end of XLR cable. A lot of times these kind of cables they use on, electric guitars and music and things like that. So you can even go to some type of guitar center or music center that has equipment. They would know what an XLR cable is. So you can see this device lets you connect up to 4 different microphones. So if you have in-person people here, you can have up to 4 people sitting around all connected with their own individual microphones. And you can see at the very bottom, it lets you connect the headphones. So my headphones are connected into slot 1 along with my microphone. I can have up to 4 different people sitting here with me. Each can individually hear everything that's going on, and they also have their own individual microphone. Now, what's nice about this Zoom kit here is a few features that I really love. Not only did you have 4 different options, you'll notice in the 3rd tab, you'll see some other, I'll even get closer to the camera here. You'll notice that it has some other different symbols there on the number 3. There's one that shows, let's see if I can even get my finger to it. But you can see on number 3 there's a phone little image in the last slot there. So what that is for is utilizing this little Bluetooth connection. It's actually called a BTA2 if you're looking to get this. But you got to buy this separately also, right? So this connects on here and it allows you to connect your phone to Bluetooth through this device. So it'll come if you want someone to call in on the phone and be a part of your podcast set. You can have people live, but then you also can connect through your phone through this slot number 3 here. So then you can adjust their volume that you hear them coming in as. You can mute them if you like, and you can just overall have them on the podcast. And then, so in the slot number 4, you can either have someone physically connected in, or you can plug this in via C connection from here to your laptop, and then let's say get on a Zoom call and have everyone on a Zoom call feeding into slot number 4. So you see how this is very nice, how you can have, let's say you can have 2 people live. I can have third person calling in on a cell phone. I can have a 4th input coming in from the computer on a Zoom call. So that's very nice, very handy feature. I really love that. You know, of course, you got to buy extra things, as I mentioned. You got to buy 4 XLR cables. You got to buy this BTA2 little device here. And I'll even show you, it comes right out. You can see it has 2 different aux size inputs. It even looks like this. You see one is smaller than the other, but this BTA2, and it's gonna be a Zoom BTA2. You'll see right there, Zoom BTA2. You can look it up on Amazon or just go to their site. Just Google Zoom BTA2 and you'll find it in different places, and you can order it and it'll come to your house. I wasn't able to find it in the store. So the Zoom set here, as I mentioned, came with this piece by itself and the microphone. And I think it cost somewhere around $200, right? Actually, to be honest, no. This Zoom kit here did not come with a microphone. It came with just this device itself and instructions. So that was about $200, or somewhere around $100, $200, $150. Then you had to go. Then I bought a set that came with the microphone and the headset. Now the headset came with its own cord that connects to it. However, as I mentioned before, it did not come with this XLR cable, so you had to buy that separately. So those are things to keep in mind when you want to invest in this Zoom kit here, podcasting kit. But I do recommend it. It's very nice and easy for travel because, like I said, it's very light, it's very small. I can put it in a backpack, I can wrap up my cables. Even these microphones fold over, and they come with it. Very nice. I like it. Works very well. And a few other features of this device too. You see these 4 little glowing red buttons right here. This allows you to add any audio onto these 4 different spots here, and at any point during the podcast session, you can push and play either with some clapping. They got some preset ones already in here, like clapping, cheering, jazz music, some little jazz riff, and a bunch of other little things like that, right? Got a preset in here that you can set these 4 for, or you can take your own audio that you record from somewhere else, whether it be an interview, a sound bite, whatever you want. Take it from your laptop and transfer it over. It allows you to transfer it via, these C connections from your, it has 2 different inputs. One of these is for power, and the other one is for a C connection input to the laptop, right? And so you can just transfer from the computer to here, from here to the computer. Another thing to keep in mind here is it that does not also come with it is a scan disk input. You're gonna need a scan disk drive. You gotta buy that separately once again, and you can't record to this without the scan disk. You gotta have it. You put it in there and everything's recorded to that. So what I recommend is make sure you get a large enough scan disk to hold a lot of information on there, because you don't want to keep recording podcasts and as you copy it over, it's still, if you're just copying it over, you're going to still have all that data on that scan disk, and eventually it's going to get full and you're going to be in the middle of trying to record and it's going to stop because it's going to say, hey, I'm full. So I end up initially I started out with a small, like 32 megabits, whatever you want to call it, size of scan disk. I eventually upgraded and got more memory so it can hold a lot more. So, as I mentioned, you can transfer over and back. You can upload and program which one of these is labeled as A, B, C, and D. So you can put whatever sound you want in each one. That way, I think I do my intro and different things like that, right? So I'll start my podcast. Usually I'll push the button, my intro music goes. Once it's done, I just start speaking. What I like to do a lot of times, if I stop speaking and someone else is speaking, sometimes I'll mute myself. I'll just push that button right there. It mutes my microphone. When I do that, of course, it stops you won't hear myself speaking through the mic. That way, if I'm drinking some coffee, I'm fiddling around with some papers, all that extra noise isn't getting picked up by the microphone. So that's what I really love about this thing also. Man, and then you got different, you can see here a visual of yourself talking. You see when I stop talking and when I do, the fluctuation, you can look there and you can just go and adjust. That's where you can adjust the loudness of the microphone. Right here at the very top, this is the gain. So I can turn it up and adjust it. I like it around 7 or 8 because I like to hear my voice. And make sure when you are talking into these mics, stay right in front of it, right? Because, there's different types of mics. And you want to make sure in this case, I have a dynamic mic, right? I stay in front. If I go to the side, you can tell the difference on the audio. It's going to fade out. It's not going to sound as near. It's going to sound like I'm in the background versus when I'm talking right in front of it, it picks up very nicely. And as I mentioned, the last part too, down here with your microphone adjustments, if you have it at 10, it's going to be loud in your ear. If people are talking directly into the mic, it's going to kind of hurt your ears. So I like to hear myself though. I like to have it probably at about a 7 because I like to hear, it allows me to hear what my voice sounds like. And if I need to pick my pitch up, if I'm talking too lightly, if, things like that, because that's a glaring thing with me when it comes to podcasts and listening. It annoys me when I'm listening or watching podcasts and someone's talking, say they have 3 people and they're interviewing one person. And the person that's asking the question is right in front of the microphone the whole time. They're being consistent with the loudness or, the pitch of their voice. And you can hear them clearly the entire time. Whereas other people, if they're talking and they answer the question and they get quiet and then they get loud again and then they keep, and they fade off, if they move away, it'll be hard to hear the full conversation. It'll be annoying because they go from low to high. And then if I'm in the car listening, I find myself, if they get really low, I'll turn the volume up. And then when they start laughing or get excited, they get loud again and it hurts my ears and I got to turn it back down. So here I am adjusting the volume throughout a 30-minute podcast. It is super annoying. So make sure when you're recording, whatever you put your gain at, wherever you decide to stay at, talk to at, keep that same position, right? Stay about the same distance away from the microphone. Now if you choose to, there's different microphone setups where they have a boom where it'll come out and it'll fall down right close to where you're at. You can adjust it, pull it in and out. That way you can be comfortable in wherever you want to be comfortable at, but just make sure, it's somewhere your comfortable position and try not to just move around all over the place. And if you do, like I am, I can turn my head, but notice that I'm keeping my lips around the front of the microphone. No matter where I turn my head, it's different if I were to go, hey, and I'm doing all this. That's not good, okay? Just laugh, you laugh. I mean, you can laugh and you can get away with whatever, but just don't try when you're speaking, stay in front of the microphone. That's my recommendation. And this little knob here lets you adjust when you do play whatever is on these little sound clips. You can turn this up from 1 to 10 also. And you have these different stop, play, record. you know, and you can see the up down arrow on these. That allows you to go select your files, listen to your recordings, go scan through everything that you've recorded and saved on here, and you can delete things, you can transfer it over. You have a bunch, you have a bunch of different options. All right, everybody, I think that's gonna do it for this Zoom tutorial or this podcasting tutorial when it comes to equipment. So go ahead and do a little research, look up the type of microphones, different types, I believe dynamic. I don't even know all the different mics. I'm not gonna go into that right now, but do your research, find out the type of mic you like, whether it's XLR connected, whether it's USB connected, whether it's, there's a couple different ways, right? Find, a good headset that you can listen to. I highly recommend this Zoom podcasting kit. Overall, for this setup here, I probably paid about $400 for this, the BTA, the scan disc, probably around $450 actually altogether. I had to buy separate cables and of course the headphones and the mic. And then eventually, I think I got two or three sets of these, right? So yeah, you got to invest a little bit in there, but I think it's worth it. Like I said, it's lightweight. You can travel with it. It's really good. I really enjoy it. Everybody, that's going to do it for this tutorial and information. Definitely subscribe to Lakers Talk with Gerald or my channel. Hit the like button, share, like, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys.